Good morning, everybody. If you have got something that you are ready to come out about today and you're not quite sure how you're going to do it, what action you can take to make it happen and get around whatever's in your way, or how you can be more mindful even during the process, you've come to the right place. My name is Seth. I run Comingouttarot.com. You can always find out more about me over there. But while we're here, we're talking about you and your coming out, and there's stuff we come out about every day, not just sexuality, not just gender, but those things are clear and present. So whatever it is you got to come out about today, I'm here to help you through it. While I'm shuffling these cards and getting tarot ready to help give some answers, I also want to share a couple housekeeping things. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep track of each other. If you find this content useful, hit that thumbs up button down there, because not only does it let me know that it's useful, it gets it in front of other people on YouTube so they can take advantage of it as well. And speaking of, if you know someone who could take advantage or needs to hear this message, pass it on, share it. Don't keep me a secret. Let other people know this is out there so that they can have this same kind of exchange that you're having today. All right. One other thing, I've got an interview that just came out on the Life Uncloseted podcast with Rick Clemons. Sometimes my eyes come out weird. Anyway, go check it out. I've got links that are going to be coming out all over my social media about 7 o'clock. But if you're a podcast junkie, just search Life Uncloseted with Rick Clemons, and you'll find me on the current episode today talking about how tarot can help you through coming out. Good morning. How are you, Norma Joe? All right, here's our obstacle, action, mindfulness. All right, guys, on the coming out journey today, our obstacle is Isis. I'm fascinated by that. Action, 2 of stones, and our mindfulness is the 2 of swords. Thanks, Norma Joe. Couple interesting things off the bat. We are like in a bit of a windstorm, in a bit of a like mental whirlwind of all the things that could happen. Then in the hospital, oh, I'm sorry, plowing through, good. It sounds like you're on the road to recovery, hopefully. So there's a bit of like mental space we're stuck in this coming out. By the way, if you hear noise, that's fair. It's playing in a box full of ping pong balls. That mental swirl that can take us down an eddy. We could take our own selves into a really challenging and potentially dark place if we don't stay on top of where our own thoughts are leading us. So overarchingly, how we think about what it is that we're about to do in this coming out process is today of utmost importance, and truly today. Like sometimes these are long, overarching things that we need to think about, how we approach life, how we approach our own challenges and problems. Today, this is about the events of today. It's not that long or overarching thing. The mindfulness will touch on that a little bit. So in our obstacle, to have Isis show up here in our obstacle, I do this all the time. I'm sorry, all these things are happening in my head. Sometimes, you know, when you get when you're supposed to get something done and you like jump on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and you just start scrolling and you think, you like tell yourself you're getting something done, but really you're just kind of futzing around and you're really not getting anything done at all. The next thing you know, an hour's gone by and the thing you should have done, you didn't do. And you're like, oh, well, I've got time. I'll do that tomorrow. And then next thing you know, you've got crunch time. You never get it. So I think there's an aspect of fooling yourself and not paying attention to your own shit and taking care of someone else's. So either you're engaging with someone somewhere else, possibly on social media, you are focused on someone else in front of you instead of dealing with your own stuff. And you're guising it as taking care, well, they need me. I needed to be there. I had to be there or something else wouldn't have happened. You know, instead of saying, I need my me time, I need to take care of myself. It is so natural for those of us that are already ready to help others to say, I had to do that. I didn't get a chance to take care of myself. This is the biggest obstacle for today, and whatever it is that you need to come out about today, it allows you to have the excuse to set aside and ignore what's best for you. This is not the best way to handle whatever it is that you need to come out about today, because all it does is set aside your participation in your own life, in your own life event, and say, no, I need to ignore that. I have to take care of someone else. And it pushes it off. It doesn't allow you to be present and focused for yourself. So how do we get around that? What do we do about it? The Two of Stones is here. And the Two of Stones is a fascinating card to me. This is your chance to say, okay, we've got all these balls in the air. Where should I be focusing? Am I truly focusing on what's best for my coming out process and what I need to do next? Or have I weighted averages? Have I put more weight onto something that I'm saying is more valuable than myself? And if you don't do the work to figure that out, you're not going to shift the way you're thinking, the way you're acting, and eventually the outcome that you're looking for. So the action is actually to physically stop, and I would even write this down. Like I would create a list. What actions am I taking towards my goal? What actions did I actually take today? This is kind of like when people write down what they're eating if they're looking for a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. Once you start tracking the thing, you realize, oh shit, yes, I did eat that bag of Cheetos. I did have an extra banana, and I went over on my calories because of that bowl of chili and cheese. I'm not speaking, yes, I'm speaking from experience. In those calorie trackers, I have had to write down Cheetos because I knew it. I was like, yes, I did eat the Cheetos. Stop lying to yourself, Seth, and focus on what your goal is and how you're going to get there. And that accountability in actually writing down, even though I was doing it in an app, in actually writing it down got me back on track to take care of what my outcome is. Yes, and you have to like honor yourself and how you approach and care for others, but you also have to truly honor that is something that you need to give to yourself. And I know what I'm asking is not easy. I know what I'm suggesting is not easy because I've been through this and I'm constantly going through this. I get it. It is a constant effort. It is work to take care of your own business. But when you get in the habit, you're going to find that it's easier. But first you have to identify what are the things that I'm not paying attention to. And writing these things down is step one. This is step one. All right, Kinky Boots. Everything is a musical in my head. All right. Mindfulness, Two of Swords. When are the moments, so in the act of writing down, when you start to make this list of what did I want to focus on today and what did I actually focus on today, in the act of doing that, the mindfulness exercise I'm going to ask you to engage in is to recognize when you get defensive and when you can relax those defenses. So you're going, you know what, that just happened today. I don't normally do that. That's a defensive action. I would maybe even have a little column right next to it. I was defensive about this one. Well, why were you defensive? What caused you to be defensive? And this is just the mindfulness exercise. So you're exploring a little bit of, okay, that's where I got defensive. Why was I defensive? Because I was making excuses for myself and not doing the thing that I needed to prioritize in my life in order for me to be healthy and well. And you don't need to make a big deal out of it. It's just a mindfulness exercise. So when are you defensive? Try it. These guys are nuts this morning. They're crazy. When are you defensive? When is it that you are in your own way? All right. The best thing about today besides some of that overarching stuff that I shared, is that today is a choice. Today is the choice of whether you decide to go down the road of reaching your own outcomes or continuing to make excuses. Today's the day. There's no day but today. There's another musical reference. I'm full of musicals today. All right, I hope this is helpful. If it is, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can keep track of each other, and hit that thumbs up button if you find that this content is useful, because not only does it let me know it's useful, but it gets it in front of other people. Please share out with your friends, speaking of getting in front of other people. And big news for today, these are going to start coming out. If you didn't hear it at the beginning and you're watching this on the replay, hi. I have an interview coming out on the podcast Life Uncloseted with Rick Clemons. Go check it out. If you're a podcast junkie, find Life Uncloseted. He's an incredible coming out coach that does some amazing work on his podcast. I found him a while ago and got a little fangirled when I reached out and said, hey, I think we're doing something similar and I'd love to share some space with you. And he said, yes. So we did a thing, and I'd love for you all to go listen to it. Let me know what you think, and share Rick Clemons and his podcast interview with me about how tarot can help you through all of your major life events, including coming out. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you all later. It was good to see you, Norma Jo.